It's going to be 580 or 430. Hey there, Tom here from Fibonacci-Traders.com here. Weekly market recap. Like, subscribe, and stay with me till the end of the video. As usual, on each weekly market recap, we'll go over SPY, QS, Dow Jones, IWM, Bitcoin, Magnificent 7, and more. So don't go away. Don't fast forward. First, we'll go with the SPY weekly chart. We ended the week with a doji, super tight price action. We are still inside an uptrend channel since October. We got this buy signal since October. We are still above the buy signal. We are still above the green line. But with this doji, some kind of a pullback retracement will be very healthy for the bulls. Checking the 485 and the 477 to the downside. Below this one, we will see 456 back to this yellow zone. This yellow zone, as you can see, very important area of support for the SPY. Or as long as we are inside this channel, uptrend until proven otherwise, we also see 580 incoming. QQQ ended the week with a doji, slightly more price action on the Qs, but as we can see, nothing much. Doji, some kind of a pullback, retesting the stop loss, the green line at the 420, below it 406. But as long as we are inside this weekly uptrend channel, we are going to 534. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think and when do you think we'll go with the Qs? Can we get 533 during this year? Dow Jones, second week in a row. Doji, in this case, we got ourselves an engulfing doji. Took last week's highs, took last week's lows. Now, next week will be very interesting on the Dow. The bulls will take over to the 410 and then 435, or bears will take over, retesting the 378 and then the 373, and back retesting the yellow zone at the weekly, the 360. IWM, what do we see? Inside the green box, basically moving sideways since beginning of December between the 188 and the 205. Something needs to give. We are still in an uptrend channel, as you can see, since October. But this sideways move, super not healthy. We saw this kind of move during 2021 all the way to the beginning of 2022. You see this kind of move. Can we get the same move? Is the IWM, the Russell 2000, bringing us surprise? Same price action? No one knows. But we need to prepare for both sides. Breaking above the green area, 232. Breaking below, and we are entering the yellow zone, 178 and then 161. Magnificent 7, MAGS. And the weekly, 2 consecutive dojis. We are above a buy signal. Nothing much except we are in an uptrend. Broke above this uptrend. Now, as you can see, we had this uptrend, broke above it. Now we're inside the higher uptrend. Uptrend until proven otherwise. And Magnificent 7 ETF. SOXX, once again back to the doji. As we can see, in the past 4 weeks we had 3 dojis out of 4. Breaking up above, we will see 706. All depends. Nvidia earnings coming up Wednesday after the bell, where Nvidia will take the SOXX towards the 790 or 545 to the downside. Be prepared for both sides. KRE ended the week inside the yellow zone, very important zone, 2 consecutive dojis, which means bulls are not giving up on the zone on the 46. Now let's see continuation above the 50, and then we have this gap on the daily that needs to get filled. as you can see, only a weekly close above the 54, then we can start thinking about long on the KRE. And as long as the KRE is inside this downtrend channel, inside this yellow zone, no long, in my opinion. Bitcoin on the weekly, last week 13.5. This week we have still time, almost 2 days from the time I'm recording this, 7.5. Can we get weekly close at the 61,600 overall? After several weeks, very tight price action in the past 2 weeks, Bitcoin bulls are here and they are looking strong. Look at the Ethereum on the weekly, broke above the lower channel inside the higher uptrend channel, which means bulls of Ethereum, same as Bitcoin, they are very strong, and this channel takes us to the 3,800. Crude oil on the weekly trying to get back above the 79.34. It's the 50% retracement. We had the downtrend, 50% retracement inside the yellow zone. We can take also Fibonacci a little bit tighter, and as you can see, downtrend, bounce, yellow zone, resistance. I want to see a weekly close inside this yellow zone above the 81, and then we will start taking our long position on crude oil and on the XLE. XLE, we can see, let's take the channel a little bit tighter. Now holding inside this channel above, but we are still inside the yellow zone. We got ourselves a buy signal last Friday because we entered and closed the week inside the yellow zone. It doesn't mean that we need to go long on XLE. It just means that if we were short on XLE, it's time to rethink our short position. FTI helps us not only with buy sell signals and where to put our stop loss, it also helps us to manage position. Meta, look at this very tight price action on Meta. 2 consecutive weeks, 2 consecutive dojis, pull back to the 441 and then to the 406 will not be a surprise. Long continuation above the 486. And what is the FTI preparing for us? 621. Tesla ended the week, 2nd week in a row with higher highs, but we are still below a sell pressure. We are still inside the lower lane of this downtrend channel. We are below the yellow zone on the weekly. No long for now on Tesla. And of course, everything you see and hear on my channel is for educational purposes only. Always do your due diligence. It's my idea. Everything here, it's only my idea based on 7 years plus experience, plus the help of this magnificent tool. The FTI version 5 gives us everything that we need on any time frame. Look at Microsoft without the FTI and with the FTI. Buy signal since October. We are still above a buy signal. We are still inside an uptrend. Now this area, the 397 needs to hold. Breaking below, meaning we are breaking below an uptrend channel and we are heading, retesting the 378 yellow zone as support. Long continuation above the 420, and this channel takes us all the way for now to 490. Apple, not looking good. Back inside the yellow zone, closed the week inside the zone. On the weekly, we have lower highs. We are inside the yellow zone, and as you can see, since beginning of 2024, Apple is struggling to stay above the yellow zone. Next week, if we will get break below the 178, we are heading to the 165. And then look at Apple on the monthly. What do you see on the monthly? Below 170, we're entering the monthly yellow zone to the 160, 151, and to the lower border of this option channel, the monthly option channel, to the 140. We have a very interesting double top scenario on the monthly. This is how it looks on the weekly. Always zoom in, zoom out to get a better point of your price action. Apple on the weekly, we have this double top, which we can take us to 165 pending this area. Below the 165, we are entering a monthly double top that can take us all the way back to 140. And if Apple goes south to the 140, it means Apple is going 22% to the downside. If Apple goes 22% to the downside, you know what it means to the SPY and the Qs. On the SPY, we will see 450, and the Qs, we will see 395. Always zoom in, zoom out, and watch the big names. What are they planning? Now all eyes on Nvidia. Wednesday, after the bell, Nvidia earnings coming out. This is why past week, we had a non-movement on Nvidia. Nothing at all. Doji holding this trend line. This is why I always say trend lines. Fibonacci. This is all you need on your chart. It helps you get a better point of view on any time frame, by the way it works. Look at this middle channel. Resistance, support, resistance. Now, past 2 weeks, support, breaking up and above. We will see 840, 964 on Nvidia, but it all depends on the earnings. In my opinion, first, Monday, market is closed. Tuesday and Wednesday, not much of a price action on Nvidia will be, in my opinion, if the market will not like what Nvidia has to say on the reports. And this is the only thing that matters. What the market thinks on Nvidia's numbers. It doesn't matter what we think on Nvidia. It doesn't matter what we think on the numbers. The only thing that matters is price action, market reaction. Bad reaction, 610, 527 incoming. Good reaction, and we are heading north, 964 and above 1000. Google ended the week, another red week on Google, retesting this yellow zone, as you can see, August until January. Held the price inside this yellow zone. Now retesting the yellow zone, breaking below it, entering this yellow zone, meaning Google breaking below this uptrend channel since October of 2022. Google inside an uptrend channel, breaking below this yellow zone, breaking below this channel, and we will see 130. Someone knows something, someone always knows something, but the only thing we can know is what the FTI is telling us. Imagine that this is, you don't need to imagine, it is. Candles, pure price action is the language, the universal language of the market. And if we need a translator, we have the FTI. The FTI helps us translate market language, price action, with up to 85% accuracy on any time frame and anything you want to trade, whether it's cryptos, whether it's futures, forex, stocks, ETFs, weekly, daily, day trading, anything that you want. Check the links in the description below. You will not regret it. All my knowledge in this magnificent tool. Amazon, 2 consecutive weeks of nothing, just nothing. Sideways move, 2 weeks. 163 now needs to hold, otherwise back, retesting the yellow zone as support. Long continuation inside this channel takes Amazon at least to 210. Shopify, nasty week, post earnings, but this is why we always need to zoom in, zoom out, and then we can see Shopify with all this noise still inside an option channel, still above a buy signal on the weekly, still above the yellow zone, which means on the longer term Shopify is still a buy. Netflix, super strong, relative strength to the rest of the market. Inside this massive option channel, no one talks about Netflix. Everybody's talking Apple, Nvidia, Tesla. Look at Netflix. Past week, when all the rest of the market barely moved, Netflix 4% to the upside. Long continuation above the 595, and we will see 665 on Netflix. Now this is the support. This is our risk management on the weekly chart. 540 below it, back to retest the 500, the yellow zone. Look at the yellow zone. Once we are inside the yellow zone, and it doesn't matter which time frame we are trading, once you see the price inside the yellow zone, this is a no trading zone. Breaking above it, then we will see a nice move. AMD, 4 weeks, 4 consecutive weeks of dojis. Something big is coming on AMD, breaking below the 164, retesting the yellow zone, entering the yellow zone, and we will see 128. Long continuation above the 185, and it takes us to 240. And Monday, market is closed. You have long weekend to go over. This is what I do every weekend. I go around these 430 names, and also on this S&P 500, which means 900, more than 900 names every weekend. This is how I do, one by one, weekly charts. Then I see setups, A+ setups that suits my strategy, my rules on the technical side, and the psychology behind trading. Of course, I'm using the FTI version 5. It helps me get a better point of view on price action. Look at SMCI. Weekly sell pressure this week after this bull run. Look at this doji. So, do I have a FOMO on SMCI now? Do I go long? No, because we have a doji. We are still above a buy signal. We are still above the yellow zone. But with this kind of doji, the 740 will not hold, and we will see 640. So maybe I will take this one next week. Short. This is how I do. Look at AR. This is how I do. 900 and more names. Look at AR on the weekly. Look how the FTI version 5 helps me to see things. What do I see? The 20 area, very strong support. Now, got ourselves a buy signal last week, which means we need continuation going back inside this yellow zone, and we will see 26, and maybe even this double bottom scenario on AR will take us back to the 31. So yes, this is how I do every weekend. If you want to become professional, first professional technical analysis, you need to go over every weekend on all these names, 900 names and more. Then you will start to see things that you never saw before. And once you put your FTI on the chart, your life just got much easier. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. More videos coming up during this long weekend. Until the next video, enjoy your weekend.